Since I have been getting a set of collets, Brown and Sharp number 9 collets ready for this Cochran Bly mill, I've been trying to prep as much of the rest of the mill for decent operation as I can. So today's thing that I'm tinkering with is trying to get this vise. This is an old shaper vise that I picked up, or at least I assume it's a shaper vise anyways, that I picked up, I don't know, a couple years back or so. And it's got a whole bunch of wear right through this area here. So what I want to do is I want to kind of clean up this area back here. But before I get into the details of that, I wanted to send a shout out to Kimber Zelik. He was kind enough to send me 3 pieces of high-speed steel and a couple of pieces of carbide. I didn't even know that they had carbide quite like this, so I'm awfully excited to put together some sort of holder and put these guys to use. But I just wanted to say thank you to him and definitely let him know that I really appreciate this. This is going to be really super handy. It's going to take me a little while to get situated to use it properly, but I am super excited about this. So thank you, Kimber. Anyways, so in the truest form of building a tool to build a tool to do a project, one of the things that I've wanted to do to skim this surface of the vise is I've wanted to use this shell mill cutter ever since I came back from the auction with the Cochran Bly with it. Now, that in itself isn't asking so much. The kicker is the only arbor, or at least I assume you would call this an arbor, that fits it is not Brown and Sharp number 9. I'm not entirely sure. It's Brown and Sharp number 613 is the model number that's on it. So I've tried looking that up. I have no idea what it is, but it's definitely bigger than a Brown and Sharp number 9 taper. I don't know if it's Brown and Sharp taper or if it's a Morse taper or what it is, but it definitely doesn't fit the machine. So this was one of the gadgets, this arbor here was one of the gadgets that was in with all the stuff that I'd gotten from the same auction that I got the Cochran Bly from. And with a little bit of an adapter ring in there, it fits pretty well. The kicker is I need to make a cupped washer to fit over this. So that's what I'm working on the lathe right now. Now granted, I've got a a fly cutter that I could use on this, but I really want to put this shell mill cutter to work. But so anyways, the other issue I had was I believe that is a homemade arbor, and it appears to be a 1/2 inch 13 tapped hole in the center of it. Well, I don't have a lot of 1/2 inch bolts on hand, but what I did have was one that was threaded to about right there. And then this I had to, thread in with one of my dies. Luckily I had the right size die, so there was problem number 1. So working on problem number 2 now is the cupped washer or spacer for this thing. So I'm going to bring you over here. So I had this material that's, what was it, 2.39 in diameter, so a little over 2 inches. So I'm cutting me out, a little piece of it, basically trying to come up with something approximately like this. And yes, that's a paper plate. neighbor dropped off a little breakfast to me this morning, so I don't have any paper in the garage at this moment, so I just scribbled it out on that. But anyways, this is approximately what I'm shooting for. And I came to a good stopping point because for whatever reason I can't seem to locate the 1/2" drill bit that I like to use. So I figured I would take a break, make a quick video of this, and try to figure out where this drill bit is. So this material I think is a little bit on the hard side. I don't think you can really tell under this lighting, but these chips are a little bit greenish in color. So I'm not terribly worried about it since I'm not going to be tapping this material anyways. Tapping is when I tend to chew up any of my tooling on the harder material. So since it's just drilling and turning operations, I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I guess this is probably a good purpose for something that's a little bit harder than normal. So hopefully I will get this shell Mill Arbor finished yet today, and hopefully I can bring you guys back for this little project, skimming this poor mill vise or shaper vise. So anyways, that's the day's project. We'll see how it turns out.